We've all been there, juggling a dozen tabs, answering emails while on a call, and pretending we're productivity gods. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is not a multitasking machine. It's a serial processor, wired to handle one stream of conscious thought at a time. When you try to do two things at once, you're not actually doing both. You're rapidly switching between them, and each switch comes with a cognitive cost, a tiny tax on your attention, your memory, and your accuracy. Neuroscientists call this task switching cost, and it's the reason why the more you juggle, the less you actually accomplish. In fact, studies show that heavy multitaskers are worse at filtering out irrelevant information and take longer to complete tasks than those who focus on one thing at a time. So the next time you feel the urge to check your phone during a meeting, remember, your brain isn't built for the circus act. It's built for depth. But if our brains are serial processors, why do we keep reaching for our phones every few minutes? The answer lies in a tiny molecule called dopamine. Every time you get a notification, a like, or a new email, your brain releases a small squirt of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This isn't just a feel-good moment, it's a powerful learning signal. Your brain is essentially being trained to associate the ping of a notification with a reward, and it quickly learns to crave that pain. This is the dopamine loop. You feel a twinge of boredom or anxiety, you check your phone, you get a small reward, and the cycle repeats. Over time, this loop becomes compulsive. You're not choosing to check your phone, you're responding to a trained reflex. And here's the kicker. The reward is often random. Sometimes you get a like, sometimes you don't. This unpredictability makes the loop even more addictive. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines so compelling. Your brain is hooked on the possibility of a reward, not the reward itself. This is the trap. Digital platforms are designed to exploit this, to keep you checking, scrolling, and swiping, all at the expense of your sustained focus. So here's where it gets really expensive. Every time that dopamine loop yanks your attention away, you're not just losing a few seconds. You're paying what researchers call an attention tax. Think of it like a hidden fee on every interruption. When you're deep in a flow state, writing, coding, or solving a complex problem, and a notification buzzes, your brain has to disengage from the task, process the interruption, and then try to re-engage. That re-engagement isn't instant. Studies from the University of California, Irvine found that after a brief interruption, it can take an average of 23 minutes to fully return to the original task. 23 minutes. And that's just for one ping. Multiply that by the dozens of interruptions you face daily, and you're losing hours of productive deep work to what feels like harmless glances. The cost isn't just time, it's cognitive residue. Even if you resist the urge to check, the mere thought of that notification lingers in your working memory, subtly draining your mental bandwidth. You're never fully present. Your brain is always half waiting for the next ping. That's the tax. A constant, invisible drain on your ability to think clearly and deeply. So, after all that doom and gloom about dopamine loops and attention taxes, you might be wondering, is there any way out? Yes, and it starts with hacks that actually work, not productivity porn, but evidence-based strategies that rewire your brain for focus. Let's start with the Pomodoro Technique. It sounds simple. Work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. But the neuroscience behind it is profound. Your brain's prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your attention, has a limited energy budget. After about 20 to 30 minutes of intense focus, it starts to fatigue. The Pomodoro break isn't just a breather. It's a reset for your neural resources, allowing you to return to the task with renewed clarity. It also leverages the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain hates unfinished tasks, so knowing a break is coming actually keeps you more engaged during the work sprint. Next, environment design. Your surroundings are a constant source of attentional pull. Every visual clutter, every open tab, every phone within arm's reach is a potential distraction. The hack? Make distraction harder. Put your phone in another room. Use a distraction-free writing tool. Clear your desk of everything except what you're working on. This isn't about willpower. It's about reducing the number of cues that trigger your brain's orienting response. Finally, single tasking. It sounds obvious, but most of us still try to do two things at once. Single tasking means committing to one cognitive task for a set period with no switching. The neuroscience. When you single task, your brain can enter a state of flow, a hyper-focused state where time seems to disappear and productivity soars. Flow is associated with reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, meaning less self-monitoring and more effortless attention. These hacks aren't magic, they're tools to work with your brain's biology, not against it. So here we are, at the end of this journey. We've dissected the myth of multitasking, exposed the dopamine traps, calculated the attention tax, and armed ourselves with hacks that actually work. But knowing is only half the battle. The real challenge is synthesis, building a personalized system that protects your attention from digital exploitation and reclaims your cognitive autonomy. This isn't about a single magic bullet, it's about creating a fortress for your mind. Start by auditing your environment. Look at the digital tools you use daily. Which ones are essential, and which are just noise? Uninstall apps that don't serve a clear purpose. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Your phone should be a tool you use, not a master that summons you. Next, design your day around your energy rhythms. Use the Pomodoro Technique not as a rigid rule, but as a flexible framework. Experiment with 25-minute sprints, then 50-minute deep work blocks. The key is to match the intensity of your focus to the demands of the task. Finally, embrace the power of deliberate boredom. In a world that constantly offers stimulation, allowing your mind to wander is a radical act. It's during these moments of unfocused thought that your brain consolidates memories, makes creative connections, and resets its attentional resources. So step away from the screen. Take a walk without your phone. Stare out the window. Let your mind drift. This isn't wasted time, it's essential maintenance for your cognitive engine. The digital world will always try to hijack your attention, but now you have the tools to fight back. Build your system, protect your mind, and reclaim your focus.